Well, I'm going to try a little different system, having issues with recording and uploading, but what I did here was a single watery pass of Pyrrole Orange from Daniel Smith, and Naphthol Red from M. Graham, and Quinacridone Pink from Daniel Smith. And then I did a second pass up here of Hansa Yellow Light, second pass here of Hansa Yellow Medium, and a second pass here of Hansa Yellow Deep. Added a little bit of orange there. This was a little bit of watery orange, but because it was over the yellow. Anyways, I think I'll do a second pass here for the orange. And I'm just mixing up a little less watery. A lot of, I guess I end up mixing a lot. I remember watching people seeming like they were sitting here mixing their paint for way too long. Maybe that's something you get a feel for as you keep painting. A lot of studies I've been doing recently, I feel like they don't really get at communicating the full range of any given paint. I think I've often been sort of starting a little too dark there, so I'm trying to make sure I don't do that. Little thirsty brush. Okay, now for a little Naphthol Red. Second pass here. So that's still quite watery, and I do know that will get a lot more intense, but I'll deal with that on subsequent layers. And little Quin Pink. Second pass mix. When I want it a little bit darker, I just sort of end up touching a little bit more of the concentrated paint. There's that flicking motion, and definitely sort of coming at an angle, not trying to drop it in like that, because that will let some out, but it will also pick some up in the belly. So just trying to get it to come out of the tip, and that's all I want. Um, the eraser marks are coming through interestingly. I'm going to do a couple of things. I am going to, what I'm going to do over here, I think I'm going to wait on the third pass. And I'm going to continue to sort of layer some yellows and some orangey yellows. And oops, I wanted the Hansa Yellow Medium is what I think I'm gonna try here. And how do you say? I think I know what I want to sort of, when you start doing this overlapping stuff like this, it's easy for it to start looking like there's an orange spot and a yellow. So coming back to unify them and making them really read as one object can really help visually. So I'm just gonna do some straight Hansa Yellow Medium over this whole thing. And that still will probably take some refining edges and whatnot, but I'm just sort of building up color. I think I'll do something similar. I'm going to wait on that. I will come in on this one though. So yeah, this will overlap this one as well. So that helps unify as well. So it does start to get tricky keeping track of just what the heck shape you're painting. That pencil is coming through fairly annoying. I will have to think about what I'm going to do about that. This one, what I'm going to do is start with a little bit of Hansa Yellow Light. I'm going to wet this shape just the ooh, I gotta fix my lighting. Just this top one, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the paint out of my brush and I'm gonna bring back in just a little bit of water into the top here. And I dab in that water and I can see what it's doing. It's starting to move the color down the shape. So it's starting to make a really subtle gradation. So haven't really talked a whole lot about graded washes yet, but that is that's one approach that's a fairly simple approach and is handy to use it at a lot of different times. I'm going to no, I'm not. Let's see what I can get on these guys over here. Video may poop out. So I'm going to go back to the Hansa Yellow Light and do a third layer. Still trying to wet the whole shape, make sure it's hard to see. It's hard to see in real life. It's probably even harder on the video. Maybe some Hansa Yellow Medium. I'm not sure what those mixes were, so I'm just gonna sacrifice those. Haven't really been tipping this. Let's see. Kind of trying to keep an eye a little bit over here too. I think I will sort of lift up some of that water that's pooling in that shape, but that's sort of taking away the stronger color. There's ways of adding more concentrated color without messing up the whole shape. That's a different video. Now let me try a third pass for the Hansa Yellow Deep. Eventually the paint will start becoming concentrated to the point where it's going to be harder to move it around because there's just not as much water in the mix to help move it around. And I'll show you what I would do it for that. It's quite common for this fourth one. Are you dry? I'm talking to my paint. I think that's decently dry. Let me see if I'll find out soon enough.